Hello and welcome to Jared Hendricks English. In this video, you will learn the following verbs. Fly, flew, flown. Blow, blew, blown. Grow, grew, grown. Know, knew, known. Draw, drew, drawn. Withdraw, withdrew, withdrawn. Throw, threw, thrown. The story and questions in this video are in the simple past. Flew, blew, grew, knew, drew, withdrew, threw. Listen to the story about the Wright brothers and then answer the questions after the story out loud. Repeat the video until you are an expert. You can do it. I'm Orville Wright. And I'm Wilbur Wright. We're the Wright brothers. We grew up in Dayton, Ohio. When we were children, our father threw a toy helicopter in the air. We were inspired. After my hockey injury, I withdrew myself from the world. When we were adults, we drew a lot of airplane models. On Thursday, December 17th, 1903, at 10:30 in the morning, in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, I flew 120 feet with my brother Wilbur running next to the plane. The wind blew 27 miles per hour. We knew the world would never be the same. The aviation industry grew a lot in the 20th century. Did the Wright brothers grow up in Dayton, Ohio, or Kitty Hawk, North Carolina? They grew up in Dayton, Ohio. In which state did they grow up? They grew up in Ohio. Did they grow up in New York? No, they didn't grow up in New York. They grew up in Ohio. Did they grow up in West Virginia? No, they didn't grow up in West Virginia. They grew up in Ohio. Did they grow up in Michigan? No, they didn't grow up in Michigan. They grew up in Ohio. Did they grow up in Texas? No, they didn't grow up in Texas. They grew up in Ohio. Did they grow up in North Carolina? No, they didn't grow up in North Carolina. They grew up in Ohio. Where did they grow up? They grew up in Ohio. In which city did they grow up? They grew up in Dayton. Did they grow up in Los Angeles? No, they didn't grow up in Los Angeles. They grew up in Dayton. Did they grow up in Detroit? No, they didn't grow up in Detroit. They grew up in Dayton. Did they grow up in Chicago? No, they didn't grow up in Chicago. They grew up in Dayton. In which city did they grow up? They grew up in Dayton. Did the Wright brothers' dad throw a toy helicopter? Yes, he did. He did throw one. He threw one. Did he throw a toy helicopter or a real one? He threw a toy helicopter. Did he throw a toy helicopter or a toy airplane? He threw a toy helicopter. Did he throw a toy dragon? No, he didn't throw a toy dragon. He threw a toy helicopter. Did he throw a rabbit? No, he didn't throw a rabbit. He threw a toy helicopter. Did he throw a chair? No, he didn't throw a chair. He threw a toy helicopter. Did he throw a table? No, he didn't throw a table. He threw a toy helicopter. Did he throw a spoon? No, he didn't throw a spoon. He threw a toy helicopter. Did he throw a knife? No, he didn't throw a knife. He threw a toy helicopter. Did he throw a sword? No, he didn't throw a sword. He threw a toy helicopter. Did he throw an axe? No, he didn't throw an axe. He threw a toy helicopter. What did he throw? He threw a toy helicopter. Did he throw a toy helicopter when the Wright brothers were kids? Yes, he did. He did throw one when they were kids. He threw one when they were kids. Did he throw a toy helicopter when they were kids or adults? He threw one when they were kids. Did he throw one when they were kids or babies? He threw one when they were kids. When did the Wright brothers' dad throw the toy helicopter? He threw it when they were kids. Were they inspired? Yes, they were. They were inspired. Were they inspired or bored? They were inspired. Were they inspired or disillusioned? They were inspired. Were they mad? No, they weren't mad. They were inspired. Were they hot? No, they weren't hot. They were inspired. Were they thirsty? No, they weren't thirsty. They were inspired. Were they sad? No, they weren't sad. They were inspired. Were they tired? No, they weren't tired. They were inspired. Were they embarrassed? No, they weren't embarrassed. They were inspired. Were they pregnant? No, they weren't pregnant. They were inspired. How were they? They were inspired. Why were they inspired? They were inspired because their dad threw a toy helicopter. Were they inspired because he threw a toy helicopter? Yes, they were. They were inspired because he threw a toy helicopter. Were they inspired because he threw a toy helicopter or a real one? They were inspired because he threw a toy helicopter. Did Wilbur withdraw from the world? Yes, he did. He did withdraw from the world. He withdrew from the world. Did he withdraw money from an ATM? No, he didn't withdraw money from an ATM. He withdrew himself from the world. Did Wilbur withdraw from a competition? No, he didn't withdraw from a competition. He withdrew himself from the world. What did Wilbur withdraw? Himself. He withdrew himself. What did he withdraw himself from? From the world. He withdrew himself from the world. Did he withdraw himself from the world after a hockey injury or after a basketball injury? He withdrew himself from the world after a hockey injury. Did he withdraw himself from the world after a hockey injury or after a baseball injury? After the hockey injury. He withdrew himself from the world after his hockey injury. When did he withdraw himself from the world? After a hockey injury. He withdrew himself from the world after a hockey injury. Did he withdraw himself from the world before or after a hockey injury? After a hockey injury. He withdrew himself from the world after a hockey injury. Did the Wright brothers draw airplane models? Yes, they did. They did draw airplane models. They drew airplane models. Did they draw airplane models or helicopter models? They drew airplane models. Did they draw car models? No, they didn't draw car models. They drew airplane models. Did they draw truck models? No, they didn't draw truck models. They drew airplane models. Did they draw space shuttle models? No, they didn't draw space shuttle models. They drew airplane models. What did the Wright brothers draw? They drew airplane models. Did they draw airplane models when they were adults or children? When they were adults. They drew airplane models when they were adults. When did they draw airplane models? When they were adults. They drew airplane models when they were adults. Did they draw a lot of airplane models or a little bit of airplane models? They drew a lot of airplane models. How many airplane models did they draw? A lot. They drew a lot of airplane models. When did they draw a lot of airplane models? When they were adults. They drew a lot of airplane models when they were adults. Did Orville Wright fly an airplane? Yes, he did. He did fly an airplane. He flew an airplane. Did he fly an airplane or a helicopter? An airplane. He flew an airplane. Did he fly a dragon? No, he didn't fly a dragon. He flew an airplane. Did he fly a Pegasus? No, he didn't fly a Pegasus. He flew an airplane. What did he fly? An airplane. He flew an airplane. Did he fly 120 feet? Yes, he did. He did fly 120 feet. He flew 120 feet. Did he fly 220 feet or 120 feet? He flew 120 feet. Did he fly 120 feet or 1,200 feet? He flew 120 feet. Did he fly 20 feet or 120 feet? He flew 120 feet. How far did he fly? He flew 120 feet. Did he fly in North Carolina? Yes, he did. He did fly in North Carolina. He flew in North Carolina. Did he fly in California? No, he didn't fly in California. He flew in North Carolina. Did he fly in Montana? No, he didn't fly in Montana. He flew in North Carolina. In which state did he fly? He flew in North Carolina. In which city did he fly? He flew in Kitty Hawk. Did he fly at 10:30 in the morning or at 11:30 in the morning? He flew at 10:30 in the morning. Did he fly at 10:30 in the morning or at 9:30 in the morning? He flew at 10:30 in the morning. At what time did he fly? He flew at 10:30 in the morning. Did Orville fly in December or January? He flew in December. In what month did he fly? He flew in December. Did he fly on December 17th or 20th? He flew December 17th. Did he fly December 17th or 21st? He flew on December 17th, or he flew December 17th. Did he fly on December 17th or 22nd? He flew on December 17th. Did he fly December 17th or 23rd? He flew on December 17th. Did he fly in 1903 or 1904? In 1903. He flew in 1903. Did he fly in 1903 or 1803? He flew in 1903. In what year did Orville fly? He flew in 1903. On what date did Orville Wright fly? He flew on December 17th, 1903. Did the wind blow 27 or 28 miles per hour? It blew 27 miles per hour. Did it blow 29 miles per hour? No, it didn't blow 29 miles per hour. It blew 27 miles per hour. Did it blow 37 miles per hour? No, it didn't blow 37 miles per hour. It blew 27 miles per hour. How fast did the wind blow? It blew 27 miles per hour. Did the Wright brothers know the world would never be the same? Yes, they did. Yes, they did know that. They did know the world would never be the same. They knew the world would never be the same. Did they know the world would never be the same, or that the cat would never be the same? They knew the world would never be the same. Did they know the world would never be the same, or that their dog would never be the same? They knew the world would never be the same. Did they know the world would never be the same, or that their parents would never be the same? They knew the world would never be the same. What did the Wright brothers know? They knew the world would never be the same. Did the aviation industry grow a lot? Yes, it did. It did grow a lot. It grew a lot. Did the aviation industry grow a lot or a little? It grew a lot. How much did the aviation industry grow? It grew a lot. The aviation industry grew a lot. Did the aviation industry grow a lot in the 20th century or in the 19th century? It grew a lot in the 20th century. Did it grow a lot in the 18th century? No, it didn't grow a lot in the 18th century. It grew a lot in the 20th century. Did the aviation industry grow a lot in the 17th century? No, it didn't grow a lot in the 17th century. It grew a lot in the 20th century. In which century did the aviation industry grow a lot? In the 20th century. It grew a lot in the 20th century.